Hey guys, it's me, Rodney Marquez from BD Outdoors. I wanted to show you the most effective rig when using a lure to catch your halibut. So there's a lot of lures out there, there's a lot of baits, there's a lot of ways to catching your halibut, live bait to lures. But when you're using artificial bait, the best rig out there is going to be the drop shot technique. I want to show you why the drop shot technique is very effective. And it's because of this guy right here, and it's because of this hook right here. Let's go with the weight. The weight is most important because if you're thinking about where halibut are at in the water column, they're actually on the bottom. They're at the sand. If you've seen halibut in aquariums, they're not swimming in the water column like a traditional fish would be, but they're actually digging themselves in the sand. They have this two eyes on one side and they're waiting for bait fish to come, and that's when they come up and ambush their prey. The reason why this one is very effective is when you're fishing the drop shot technique, this weight is going to be hitting the floor. You're already in the zone where the halibut are, given that your weight is always in contact with the sandy bottoms. And then secondly is this hook right here, the straight worm hook, the Gamakatsu size 1 straight worm hook. Feed that hook through the plastic itself, you're actually exposing that hook closer to the tail versus if you're using a smaller hook. If it was this size, you're only exposing the hook, let's say 1/4 of the way. My theory is when halibut do bite, a lot of the halibut chase their prey and they come from the back. So if you have that hook a little bit more exposed closer to the tail, you have a better hook set ratio or a bite ratio for catching that halibut. One of the other reasons why I like the drop shot technique is it's a very versatile rig. You can be using a fluke bait. I've caught legal halibut using a fluke bait. You could change it up and use a grub or even a swim bait. Another important aspect when rigging up the drop shot is the distance between the hook and the weight. I have a theory out there. Halibut, like any other predator type fish, don't want to expend too much energy chasing the bait or their dinner or their lunch. And my theory between 6 to 10 inches is it's that halibut strike zone. Halibut are lurking on the sandy bottoms, and it only takes a little bit of effort for them to bite a lure that's only 6 to 10 inches. Versus if a halibut was lurking on the bottom, like they always do, and the prey is, let's say, 15 feet away from them. That requires a lot of energy for the halibut to chase that bait 15 feet away versus 6 to 10 inches away. You can use a 1 ounce to 2 ounce. If you're gonna be using a 2 ounce weight, I suggest using heavier line like 15 to 20 pound test. But if you're using a 1 ounce weight, 8 to 12 pound test is ideal. The difference between using a grub and a fluke bait is going to be changing the way you work the bait. If you're using a grub, you're going to point that rod tip down at a 45-degree angle, and you're going to do a constant retrieval rate. Versus if you're going to be doing a fluke bait, you're going to be doing rod twitches. And when you're doing those rod twitches, reeling the slack, rod twitches, reeling the slack, rod twitches, you're actually kind of making that tail action of the fluke bait like that. And that action right there, that's gonna drive a lot of the halibut. Again, if it's 6 to 10 inches away, that's gonna make that halibut curious enough to bite this lure. There's 3 things that I always want to encourage when you're trying to target halibut from shore. Try to target sandy bottoms because that's where halibut are going to be. And secondly, be as mobile as you can. If you're not catching your halibut or any fish for that matter in this area for 20 minutes or so, then move on. Maybe the halibut or other species that you're targeting is just 20 yards to your right or your left. So you always want to be as mobile as you can. And third tip for you guys is be patient. Halibut fishing is never a for sure, and especially when you're fishing from shoreline, and especially if you're wanting to catch that halibut on a plastic. All right guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let's say if we make more than 100 likes on this video, I'll go ahead and come out here and try to land a halibut for you guys. Again, my name is Rodney Marquez from BD Outdoors, and always, thanks for watching. See ya.